Hi Nine! Today we are working out the area of rhombuses and kites. So I just wanted to show you a quick little nifty trick. So over here we have our rhombuses. So these two rhombuses are exactly the same size. So if I took this one off and put it over the top, it covers it up perfectly. So these are exactly the same size. And I just want to show you a trick. If we were to chop the rhombus across here, and then I took this triangle off and rotated it around and stuck them back down here, we have a rectangle. We know how to find the area of the rectangle. We find the area of a rectangle by base times height. The difference with this one is we're not using the base this time. This time we have these diagonal lines across. So the diagonal through here and the diagonal through here. So what we've got is half the diagonal. So if we put this on top, it would only be taking up half of it, but it's still got the whole length. So it's only taking up half the height, I suppose you could say, or half the distance of that diagonal and the whole distance of the other diagonal. So that's how it works with a rhombus. Now if we look at our kite, we have two kites exactly the same. Again, I can show you, I can take this one off, put it down here, and we can see it covers it perfectly. So again, if I was to cut this straight down the middle here, and I have this triangle, and if I stuck this triangle here, and if I stuck this triangle here, here and here, we could see that we now have a perfect rectangle, which is again, it is the whole length of one of the diagonals and half the length of the other diagonal. Okay, so that brings us to our formula. So our formula for working out the area of a kite is half xy. So we call x and y the diagonals of the rhombus or the kite. So here we can see we've got this x going across this way and our y going up and down. So our area is half xy. So this is very similar to the area of a triangle where we have half the base times the height. The difference here is we have our x and our y, which are the diagonals of our kite. Okay, some examples now to help you understand that a little bit better. So here we have a kite. This diagonal is 12 centimeters. This diagonal across here is 8 centimeters. So if we just write our formula again, we have area equals 1/2 xy. Remember, x and y are diagonals. So that's 1/2 times 8 times 12, which would give us 48 centimeters squared. Because remember, we are talking about squared units because we're talking about area. Now, if we come over here and look at our rhombus, the area, again, we're using a half xy. So this time here, our diagonals are actually given outside of the shape. Doesn't change the shape at all. This is still that middle diagonal. This one over here is still that up and down diagonal. So we'll have a half times 10 times 4, which will give us a total of 20 meters squared. Because remember, we need to have the square in there because we are talking about squared units in area. Okay, I hope that helps. I hope you now understand a little bit better about how to calculate the area of kites and rhombuses.